Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your full-time fan reaction to today's Accrington Stanley 0, Ipswich Town 2, of course, in association with Ipswich Buses. I'm not going to understate that win. The importance is absolutely huge, in my opinion. What a performance! Not at the races, I will be honest with you, for a large portion of the game, but they came through. 2 goals from super sub turned superstar Connor Chaplin. Joining me once again is Bricktop Peter Cox and Alex Wilson. I'll grab Alex's thoughts first, then yours, Coxie. Then we'll bring in people from the viewership, the fandom. Ben, I think, is up first, but Alex, 2-0, huge win. What do you make? What do you make of that? Big statement. Your name is.
Yeah, big statement. You know, it's games like that and games like Burton and Cooper that we wouldn't have won last year. And quite rightly, we weren't at it all game today, but we made the move when it counted. You know,
the substitutions, you mean?
Yeah, we took advantage of it. You know, at the end of the day, it wasn't working. It changed it. I think obviously Chaplin coming on, had a huge impact. I thought it was sticking a lot more up top. I thought up until Ladapo coming on, it was going up top and it wasn't really sticking up there. Where he's more, it just seemed to stick to him a bit more. Which gave chances for those around like your Wedgburns, your Connor Chaplins, your Marketans to get up and support. So again, like I say, we wouldn't have won that game in years gone by, but that's Burton away we've gone to and won.
Absolutely, yeah. We haven't won in previous years. You know, we would have. People were sort of messaging me through the game, Coxie. You know, asking me what's up with Town, and I just said this was at that point your classic Ipswich Town away at Accrington Stanley performance. It was stuck in the mud. The wheels were spinning.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for a long period of time it was. It just looks like the same old. But yeah, as Alex said, this is an important win. I know it's only mile 7 on the 20 on the 46-mile marathon, but it's an important win. A lot of hoodoos. Now we haven't really won there before. We've got Alex Maffey's not very. He was commentating for Radio Suffolk today. So the one Amy Downs is there. I don't know with the white puffer jacket, and she's never seen the win there. So a lot of hoodoos were put to bed today. I mean, but yeah, Cotsey's pick for player of the season, Chaplin, came up with the goods. I'm glad he was. I know we said, was he fit enough? And you said, well, if he's on there, he's fit. Well, he was. He came on and a set piece to get the first goal again.
This is it. Yeah, Lee Evans with the corner. Chaplin first to the ball. Alex, before I let you go, and I sort of swap you around for Ben, because I know you've got to get off for the Clash of the Castle. Who was your standout performer today? Who was your man of the match?
I thought Lee Davis had a good game. He it was probably only the second time he's played a game like that, but he was playing really well. He did what he needed to do. Connor Chaplin. It was one of them all-round performances. It's really hard to pick a man of the match out of our squad at the minute when, we haven't been able to say that very much over the last 2 years. So let's just keep riding this wave while we can.
And it's interesting you bring Lee Davis up, because we spoke about it pre-game, how important having that left side was going to be to how we play. And you almost called it in the pre-game show, so well done on that one, Mr. Wilson. You know your onions. Hopefully you don't know your onions for the wrestling, though, because Roman Reigns tonight is going to beat Drew McIntyre. It's a spoiler.
No,
we'll see.
It's what is it? Heyman says it's not a prediction. That's
a spoiler.
Enjoy it, Alex. Look after yourself. All right, all the best. Live chat, very busy. Love to see it. Get those comments in the live chat. All super chats are read out, but I'll get to as many non-super chats as I possibly can. Lloyd says top of the league. Adrian Garrett proved big improvement from last year as well. Well done. Upper Tone, says Jules. James Warren Elmer, I heard this is the best start we've had in over 30 years. Fuck me, I'm 30. I'm 30 odd. I never know actually how old I am. I lose count after 10. EJ Norris, I'm loving this team right now. We're doing it, lads. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Up the Football League we go. Absolutely. Lee, first on the club's history, we've won the first 4 away games in a row. AD Crouch, the Stone Market legend. I heard AD celebrate from here. He was that loud. Another great town win. This result is now proof of how much we have turned a corner since last season. We have turned a corner, Milk Tray Man. Is that the case?
Can you hear me first?
We can. What? We can.
Good, because I'm on an iPhone and it never likes to stream. Good. Fantastic. Well done. Best win of the season because it's such a dangerous place to go. Really
That's
had
the season so far, Ben. Come on.
So far. Exactly right. I think we tough performance today. I think I've got to go for my man of the match, actually. It's between 2, Leif Davis and Burgess, because in that when it was getting really scrappy and that sort of tilt of possession was going over to Accrington a bit, he was in the middle of everything. And it's funny, Cruncher, I was texting throughout and he called it absolutely right. He said the subs at 60 minutes win the game. And that's exactly what happened. You know, the really, really good subs. And I texted him back. I said, you take Caden off, we'll score goals. Why the hell? Somebody in that chat tell me, what does he bring to the team? In fact, I'm going to change my mind. My man of the match was Caden Jackson, because if he hadn't have done what he's done for 128 games, he wouldn't have been subbed off and had Connor Chaplin come on. So best game of the season, Caden. Well done. It baffles me. You got other strikers started scoring and he comes on. However, it's not how it starts.
My sarcasm meter.
Hey?
I'm just checking my sarcasm meter there, Ben.
I think it's broken with that. I think it's broken. Ben is broken.
I'm not beat on about it, but if anyone argues that, watch the first 60 minutes and he came off. Oh, what happens? Oh, bugger me, we scored 2 goals. Funny that every single time it's happened in the last 4 years. But well done, and well done to Chaplin who came on. There were 2 really good goals. Good positioning, good situational awareness, and an ability to actually stick your foot out with the possibility of scoring. Really simple stuff. So a really good performance, and well done, Leif Davis. He was really good today. Really good.
Was. But I'm going to stick up for Jackson a little bit here, Ben. I'm going to come back with you because I don't think it was his sort of game to be played in. And sometimes,
yeah, but that's 115 in a row.
That's a fair point. All right, the goalie had a great save. The goalie got an ankle.
It's the wrong kind of shape. It's the wrong kind of ground. It's the wrong kind of football. It's the wrong kind of formation. It's the wrong kind of partner. Da 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 da. Chaplin, come on, 2 goals, 10 minutes.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not. You can't argue with the end result. Chaplin and Ladapo performed much better in the 10 and the 9 than Harness and Jackson did together. Facebook user, I don't know if this is you also posting while you're talking, Ben, but this Facebook user agrees. Jackson is all fart and no pop.
Facebook user knows his onions.
Normally when it comes through from Facebook, it's normally you. So I'm trying to see if those hands are being typing away.
To be fair, I think he's all about a fart because when you fart, it pushes your body forward, and that's the one thing he does is he accelerates. But
Jackson slander. I can't have this. Getting a lot of love for your Burgess comments. Just talk us through from on the positivity side of it. But Stu Blue, Burgess was excellent, headed everything, didn't lose a challenge. Man of the match for Stu Blue. He's another who's improved under McKenna. You also thought he had a great game today. What did he do for you? What did he make good for you? What was it about?
For me or Cox?
You, Ben.
For me, his positioning was fantastic, and I watched him off the ball. He was talking to Wolf all the time, talking to Don. I mean, I thought, Evanson's not on. That's interesting. But Burgess has been really good. He's doing what Evans is doing, which is he's actually getting really good this season. He's doing what Don did last season, which is getting really, really good. We've got this core of players that are actually getting better and better. Burgess, look at who's behind him to come in if he has a bad game. You can't replace him at the moment. He is so good, and we paid a lot of money for him. We paid, I can't remember, what, 750 grand or something. He's showing every pound of that. He watched his positioning and how as soon as he goes out to ping a ball forward, or if he passes it back to the keeper, he'll run straight back in his space to give the keeper an option. I love stuff like that. I really love it. There was in the first half he had the ball in front of the keeper and he had Accrington bombing down on him. So he had to do a quick shot back to the keeper And as soon as it left his foot, he burned it 20 yards into the position to give the keeper an outlet. That's a good defender. That's a good footballing brain. He can't be taken off at the moment. I would argue there are players that can be rotated. I don't think he's one of them. So well done, Burgess. That was a really solid game in a really difficult match against a very physical League One team, you know, and well done to you. Well done. Absolutely.
Love it. Ben, before I let you go, you mentioned obviously you man of the match early doors, so I won't speak to you about the man of the match, but Ladapo also came on. I think Ladapo transformed Ipswich Town Football Club today. He's had his critics in the past. Obviously didn't get the score sheet, granted, but he transformed us when he came on. How did you see Big Fred's contribution?
His hold-up play, because at that point, Accrington, I think, had kind of given up the ghost, and his hold-up play, which allow your wing-backs to come in and Chaplin to push up. Really, really good. I think he's a good hold-up ball player. It's too early to know how good of a striker he is. You know, I've got to think about strikers. We all do. But, you know, he's getting better. I think he should have started today. I really do. He finally gets his goal with that big smile and he starts on the bench, which is very strange. But he was good in the system he worked in and good in the ground he played in. So you can't really ask for any more than that. And you know, it's what's my old saying on this platform, you know, get a player on who makes other players around him better. He frees up players like Chaplin to just run those little lines, run those channels when you got two Accrington players trying to kind of mark it up. Well done today. Really positive. Happy day.
Ben, we love you coming on. Before I let you go, Saturday night, we've won. It's 3 points. We always say pints and points. So what are you drinking this evening to celebrate, and what are you eating to celebrate this evening?
I've got some away days. I think might be a Hobby Robson. I had takeout last night, so I can't do it twice in a row because I know I'm impending dads, but I don't want an impending dad bod. So it'll be something healthy tonight.
Embrace it, but enjoy it. Look after yourself. We love you, Ben. We'll speak to you soon. Look after yourself. Coxie, I'll come to you in a second. I was just loving the positivity flowing through. Let's get some comments from the chat. Vince Bird sub showed exactly what Jackson didn't offer in first hour. Ladapo was a big physical presence. Accrington were filthy, and we were lucky to escape without injuries. Is that fair? I thought Accrington were sort of almost as billed, really, Coxie. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think there was the physicals there have been in the past today. They do like to leave the foot in there, fair enough. But once they're filthy, I was Ipswich play a lot of other teams who, you know, kicking them about, kicking them in the air, and you know, kicking them on the way down as well. But not today, I don't think so. No, so it's a bit unfair. But Vince has told his opinion.
EJ says Burns has been given the second goal. Fair. Okay, we'll go on that basis. Of Mr. Ipswich Town, we've not seen you in a while. I hope you're well. Well, thank you for joining us. One thing I'm loving, we are marking the simple stuff. Don't panic, and if mistakes happen, it doesn't go to their heads. Really excited for this football club. Norman, please remember players like Ladapo and Chaplin coming against tired legs. Jackson and TJJ ran their socks off. Absolutely. Paul P, the 5 substitutes are really working for us. I think a main supporter of that through to someone was this man here, Lee Anderson. Lee, the 5 subs are really working for us. Talk us through what that's doing to our football club at the moment.
Well, it's great. I mean, I said this, well, we've all said it before, haven't we, about that? And I think we don't call them, I don't think we should call them subs. We should call them the finishers, because it's all almost like measured, isn't it? We're bringing these people on. We're not changing the shape very much. Yes, the forwards like Ladapo and Jackson offer something different, but they're the finishers. They come on and they take the game. So it's a term they're used in rugby. So I've said that before. So really good. I mean, the game as a whole. I mean, first 20 minutes we rode the storm. A good away. You know, it's a total away performance, isn't it? We rode the storm first 20 minutes. They had their half chances, opportunities, and then we started to grow into the game, and we had the better second half of the first half. I think, if I said that right. So I think we weathered that storm and grew into the game, and then second half, we made the change at the right time. I think we did miss Chaplin. It's easy in hindsight to say that, but first half, the ball wasn't sticking up front at all, was it? Jackson couldn't hold the ball up. It was bouncing off Harness, or Harness was always trying to turn. So, but when you get people like Aluko and Chaplin play, they tend to hold it in that pocket a little bit more and spin and just keep you in possession and keep you up the pitch. So I think you need that sometimes. So I think we missed that a little bit. I mean, Burns was pretty quiet, wasn't he? And I think most players were in terms of what we expect going forward. But as a team, we weathered the storm. We kept going. We restricted them to a few chances. And we scored 2 goals. We have to remember, and I'm sitting here getting really anxious, and I have to keep telling myself that we're a different team now. And yes, we're not going to win every week, but you don't win the game in the first half. You don't get promotion in the first half of the season. That sort of thing. The game wears on. Late goals. Keep going. And in the end, it's shown. And our bench has more than got us over the line, really, I think. And they bring a lad on who's what was he, 18, 19 years old. He was playing some non-league football, probably. God knows what he was playing, but it was really low level. And
it was non-league,
yeah, really non-league. And so, but good luck to him. I hope he hope he goes on to have a career. But that's the difference. That's the big difference in the side. So that was great. And the goals, I mean, the first one from it reminds me of a goal scored, and I can't remember a free kick. I can't remember. I'll tell you which one it reminds me of. I do remember now. John Walk in the although it didn't come on, it comes straight from the corner. But John Walk's goal in the UEFA Cup final second leg. Didn't he come in and sort of lift his leg up and hoof one? And it was a great goal. But I mean, it was a good it was a good corner because someone got on the end of it. But that was a good first goal. And then Chaplin was picking up those spaces. We were holding on to the ball, counter-attacking. And, we got the second one. I thought it took a deflection, but I thought it come off their number 2. But if it come off Burns, because my first thought it came off Morsey. And I thought, we're going to be offside. But it wasn't. But I think overall, the commentary, to be fair, on their thing, they were really good, I thought. I thought they were quite balanced, to be fair. I know they had a little bit biased, but at least he knew all the players' names and what was going on. And that was quite nice to listen to. But, I think they summed it up saying 3-0 would have been harsh, I think. But we're just not looking in too much trouble anywhere, are we? We're just not.
12 in 12 away from home, 4 wins on, in a row. That last year, obviously, we were very up and down, both home and away. We've got to sort of turn the home form, but just how vitally fantastic is that 12 in 12 statistic? It can't be overlooked. That's tremendous, isn't it, Lee? Particularly when you've gone to Forest Green and you've had the ghosts of old of not beating promoted sides last year. You've gone to Accrington Stanley where you got that anxiety as a fan because you know what's happened before. We've cleared some mental hurdles in the last month.
Yeah, I think sometimes, and this happens in football, sometimes you get fixtures at the right time and fixtures play into your hands. Sometimes you might get a team on form and they might lose a few players. I think playing some of these lower teams away from home early in the season, when the weather's good, the pitches are good, we've got everybody fit. I think that's helped.
Great
it's easy to sit there saying now after 12 points, but I think that does help. I think who wants to go to Acca on a Tuesday night in the middle of February when the pitch is all rutted? I'm not doing disrespect to the pitch, but who wants to go play them then when you can't get the or there's not so much grass on the pitch and things like that. So I think we've done well to obviously pick the 12 points up, but the home form is key. I know Fishman said it before that you've got to win your home games, but really you've got to get 2 points. You've got to get 2 points a game and you'll get promoted. But that does mean you've got to win home games, or you can't rely on winning away every week because that just isn't going to happen. So the next two home games are going to, we've got to pick points up to keep that momentum going. But just one thing I want to say, and this is not disrespectful for anybody, but I'm getting a bit, I'm getting a bit, well, not cheesed off. That's not the right word. That's just, I'm beginning to smile when people say, "Oh, this next game will give us a true feel of where we are, where this club is at and where we're going." Well, we know where we're at. We're top of the bloody league, aren't we? So doesn't need the next game to tell us where we are. Everything that's going on around the club is great. If we'd have lost the game today, I'd have been disappointed, obviously. But overall, the bigger picture is the club's going to be right up there at the end of the season. That's where we are as a club. And everybody you speak to, listening to Andy Holt, listening to your show this morning, what a show that was. It was great to listen to him because he takes a lot of stick. He is misunderstood sometimes, I think, and that, like anybody is when you write something down. But he's sitting there saying, "This is your season," and he's not saying it to try to put pressure on us. He sincerely means that. And every manager that has come out after the game, they said, "Oh, these are good. These are good." We have to believe that. Yes, we have to keep our feet on the ground, but this time last year we were talking about pressure, and we were talking about expectation. That hasn't gone away. The players the players are hurt. The players that were here last year are hurt by that first half of the season. But McKenna's just carried on everything that he did when he's come in, and we're just seeing exactly the same as second half of the season and a little bit more. And long may it continue.
I would go along with, you know, your feeling towards that is like my feelings towards expected goals. We've both got to sort of build a bridge and get over it because it's not going to go away, I don't think. As particularly as the month unfolds, Lee, you've got Plymouth coming up, you've got Wednesday coming up. You know, both teams currently occupying the top six. So those cliches, those phrases of this will give us a true measuring because, you know, Moby's just said here, next middle hurdle is win away at a top six side. You know, I do agree with people who say this is a win that will give us or a game that will give us a true reading because people last year would have said Ipswich Town Football Club were nailed on promotion certs. People last year would have said if you gave two people an option, Town or Wigan, who was going to go get promoted. I don't think many would have chosen Wigan over Ipswich Town last season, but the results early doors transpired and what will be and what happened. Today's performance, for example, is a different Ipswich. It's professional. It's prepared. It's everything we thought we were getting last year, but a whole lot more. It really is. And that's what I believe. And I do get your point of view.
Yeah.
But today, for example, 0-0, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, we would have walked away last year, any year, scrap that, any year, even under Lambert, flying high, would have walked away with a 1-0 defeat. Would have been beaten 1-0.
Yeah, but it doesn't prove or disprove where we are. If we go lose next week, is the club any different to what it was this Saturday? Is anything different really?
Well, you say that it's Cambridge, so it's another team you've got to be better against.
Yeah, well, it has, but you know, you've just got to play each. And I don't always agree with comparing. Oh, we've got more points against these this time than we did last year. It's a completely new season. You just look at the game. In game one, we've got more points. In game two, we've got more points.
You want short-term memory, don't you? That's what you want. You want short-term memory. Last year's last year. This is a new year, new squads, new players.
Yeah. I think you've got to look. I think you've got to base it on everything that's gone on. You know, the second half. I'd love to see a league table again now. I'm sure Crunch will put it up again of a season of when McKenna's been in charge, because we must be top of that league.
We're flying high in it. Yeah, for sure.
That league as well, I would think, because we're flying. We are top of the league, aren't we? My understanding is
we are. We are. If we
can
get 150 likes on today's show, I will be putting that league table up, Lee. We're currently at 66, which is poor because we've got 257 watching alone on YouTube. So hit the like button, and I will put that league table up. It costs you nothing. It's free. Woody Woodward, I just had warm, positive feeling as soon as Chappers and Ladapo came on, goals would come. Lee, man of the match before one of the questions before I let you go.
I don't know. I
go on.
I can't think of anybody that really stood out. I mean, can I give it to Chaplin, who came on as a sub because he's changed the game? I don't know, but it's the hard graft that the others. It's the hard graft that the others have put in to allow that to happen. So, can I give it to the team, or am I not allowed to sit on the fence?
No, you can. If you think it's a team game, so if you think it's a true team performance,
if I do think it's a true team performance, but if I have to give it to someone, I'd have to give it to Cam Burgess, I think, because he didn't miss a header, did he? He picked everything that come in the box. He headed it out, and that's what he's there to do.
It is what he's there to do.
There you go.
And of course, pints and points. What are you drinking? What are you eating tonight?
Well, I'm on a Peroni, and I think I've got rice and ribs. But I won't be about for a couple of weeks because I'm off on holiday. So
have a thoroughly enjoyable holiday, Mr. Anderson.
On some of the shows, but
where are you going?
We're off to Florida.
I do.
Very nice.
I take duty free as payment. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon. Look after yourself. Have a
cheers,
great
guys.
holiday.
Hey, man,
Cheers for
Take care.
coming on. Brian Desmond conceded 4 goals so far, 2 less than the next best team. Great start. Leif Davis says Matt Stanhope for his man of the match. Evans for Oozle's man of the match. Stephen Bills, I think, will outplay till Wednesday. Next away game, more confident as Barnsley beat them today. Cambridge will be a really hard game next Saturday. Yeah, before I bring in He-Man, another new name change for him. Love it. But before I bring him in, obviously Barnsley beating Wednesday. Does that put last week's result into a little bit of context?
Yeah, perhaps it does. Yeah. It's looking like a good point. If they went to Hillsborough today and got a win. I'm not going to mention who scored the first goal because let's move on from that. But
was it Norwood?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. He got sent off midweek. So
it's obviously a different competition, but okay, fair play to him. But no, do what you like for them, except when you play Ipswich. I'm not really that bothered. Barnsley now into 10th, and I was told only last night they wouldn't be a top 10 team. So let's see where that ends up. End of the season. Lee Moore says, "Let's beat Cambridge next week after everything I've gone through with them lot. We owe them a big one."
The Ben Moore derby, part 1.
Matt Stannard delivering the truth. Get the Bundeslager, Lee. It's a Peroni beater. Absolutely spot on it. But Bundeslager is a fine beer from our friends at awaydaybeers.com. Look at the little details there. awaydaybeers.com. He-Man, welcome in. First of all, what are your thoughts following today's 2-0?
Wonderful. I thought we'd beat them today, and we did exactly that. And like Lee pointed out, our man of the match, or men of the match today were our substitutions that came on midway through the second half. Chaplin is on a roll, a bit of a goal-scoring purple patch. Long way that to continue. I was just looking at the results today. There's 3 or 4 that stood out. One of those was Cambridge. The other one was Sheffield Wednesday losing against Barnsley. That shows just how potentially hard this league is. We go and draw against Barnsley last week, and they go and actually beat a promotion favourite this week, which just goes to show that anything can happen in this league. Cambridge up next week here at Portman Road. That's going to be a tough one because they're now sitting in 5th place as we speak.
They are, yes.
Win against Lincoln today.
1 defeat all season so far.
Yeah, I think from last season, I think that fixture next week is actually probably marginally tougher than what it was last season for us, because we didn't do particularly well against Cambridge last season. And I think again, looking at that fixture, it might have a draw written all over it. I don't know, but let's hope we get 3 points against them.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned the substitutions there, and obviously he won't get man of the match because he technically didn't play in the game. But you've got to really take your hat off to Kieran McKenna today, because the subs did their part, but he has changed the game with his tactical tweaks and, of course, the substitutions themselves.
Yeah, I think what I'm beginning to notice from McKenna this term is that in 2 or 3 games I've noticed, I'm going to say taking from the Burton game, a couple of weeks ago. So, it was effectively a game of 2 halves. This is a guy who is a bright, intelligent manager when it comes to working out his tactics. And again, for the second half, he got spot on today with those substitutions, which made the difference for us. I would say it just goes to show just how much of an asset McKenna is to Ipswich right now. I would say he is probably our biggest asset, and one not to be underestimated as well. I think that this term, if we can, I'm going to say there's only us and one other team that haven't lost a game in the league, and that's us and Portsmouth. And it looks as though that if we can maintain the top 2 push, which I think we can now with those 2 extra signings, and just talking on our front line, especially with the substitutions today as an example, is that it just goes to show just how important these 2 new signings could be and can be moving forward, because it's going to give us an extra dimension and attacking force up front. Hadme, I hope he's got plenty of goals in him. I'm sure he has. And I can't wait to see Kamara play, hopefully, in the next week or 2.
Yeah, he might be. I wonder if there's any way he can be involved in that Plymouth game on the television and make himself an almost immediate hero. It's almost a script. I don't know how badly the injury is and his fitness, obviously. But on that, obviously, you've got Aluka out for a while. Marcus Harness took the mantle over today in that number 10 role. How did you feel his performance was? Because we were having a conversation, me, Rich, and Matt, and I was saying I love Harness, just not in that 10 role. He's not. He did today. He wasn't at the races in that particular role. How was he for you?
Well, I would say I didn't. I would say listen to the game on the radio. I missed the first half because I was at a social event in the town centre.
How dare you?
But listen to the second half mostly, on the way home. Until the substitutions came on, I thought by the sound of it, Town were a little bit bogged down. We say we couldn't quite find the breakthrough. We had, a couple of efforts before those subs came on and changed things. I mean, say my man of the match. I mean, say I wouldn't know because I didn't listen to all the game. I'd probably give it to our guy, probably Chaplin. Who made the breakthrough was real key for us today. Chaplin.
Chaplin. It's one of those, as Lee was just pointing out. It's one of those. It could go to any number of players. Saturday night, He-Man. What are we drinking? What are we eating? Had to celebrate mighty 3 points.
I've got a can of Diet Coke sitting on the table just out of shot, and a bit later on, I'm going to treat myself to a nice rice dish, Chinese takeaway. A bit later on, maybe a prawn dish or something.
Very nice. Enjoy. Have a fantastic evening. Thanks for coming on. We'll speak soon. Look after yourself. Chaplin, man of the match. We spoke last season a lot, Coxie, about. I'm not going to mention any names, but big game players not turning up in big game moments. Chaplin today has been big game player turning up at the exact time they're meant to turn up. Big game moments, because today was a tricky game for a number of reasons. It was bitty, it was gritty, it was dirty at times. It's 0-0, and he just sort of almost takes over the game. Doesn't allow it to go anywhere but one way.
Yeah, and that is what you said. A certain player last week, the year we had on
certain players last year.
A player we had one particular I'm thinking of. He was brought in on loan and just didn't do it. But Chaplin done it. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. He came on, and he done. He turned the game, and what hopefully will be a big 3 points coming into the season. Because, like you said, you beautifully said earlier on, it's the mental hurdles we had to overcome today. That you can't brush them aside. It is the mental hurdles we had to overcome today, and we did.
But it's also not just the mental hurdles. Before I bring Neil, actually, I'll bring Neil in now. Neil, it's not just the mental hurdle of getting over a tough fixture away from home. It's another positive performance, another positive result. It's more belief into a group of players that are just gradually believing and growing week in, week out, and can be something very special this year.
Yeah, best start for 34 years, they said.
There you go, 34. That's older than I am.
And the four away wins is the first time in our history we've won 4 consecutive away games. That's true as well.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. And not easy away games either. Forest Green, Accrington Stanley, 2 tough places for different reasons. And overall, we're sitting pretty in the table. How are you feeling as a Town fan in the west side of the country? You can't help but be positive, surely, Neil.
Yeah, very positive. Yeah, definitely. I think there's a couple of tough games on the horizon, and obviously we've got tough games ahead. I have to say a special word for Plymouth, obviously. 2-0 down today, 1-3-2 at Derby. That's no mean feat, is it?
That's a good result.
Really not. I look forward to listening to the Derby radio phone-in, as I normally do on a Monday evening as I drift off to sleep, because that's going to be a fun one this weekend. Yeah,
I mean, I mean, obviously we've got Kamara, and I think he will be a good signing. Where he'll fit in, like you were saying the other day, I don't know if he's going to be is he going to be playing that regularly for us in the league? I'm not so sure. But obviously he'll chop and change McKenna where he sees fit for league games, one who he thinks fits the best in the games. But they don't seem to be missing in Plymouth, do they? And they've got 2 good strikers. I think that's one of their main things at the minute, the 2 strikers they've got for Plymouth. But no, I'm looking forward to being down there again in 3 weeks. So I have my son with me as well. So certainly looking forward to watching them. and then catching a few more games as well. Yeah, very positive. There's a lot to be positive about, isn't it? Clean sheets as well, scoring goals.
Not just clean sheets, not really threatened at all, Neil. No, like, you know, for all the anxiety Lee was talking about, not really ever have Accrington and Stanley ever really have a clear chance, or certainly one that I can certainly recall back to. But we're solid, aren't we? You know, Barnsley last week, obviously 2 goals conceded, but most weeks we're going to be very much in the game because of a strong back line, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what happened to Edmondson today. Just imagine it's an injury, is it? Or don't know what happened there.
I've got no idea unless I hear anything in coming through while we're live here. David, another clean sheet, loads of positives from a tough game. Paul Hannesett, 4 away wins for the Glory Days again. John Warren, Neil, before I let you go, and before we go into John's comment, how are you feeling, by the way?
I'm still a bit ropey, Gov, to be honest. I am eating bits and bobs. I am having some cooked meals, but I don't really feel hungry. My taste is a bit funny. I tried to have something to eat earlier. I put like some salad cream or something on it. Almost tasted like ammonia. My taste is a bit, still a bit iffy, but pleased with the result. That cheers me up a bit. And I say I'm off till Thursday anyway, so hopefully I can start feeling better by then. I suppose it's just what this bug does to you, and I don't know, but I've had me jab, so I could have been far worse. So, got to be thankful.
Absolutely. 3 points always helps. And John Warren says, McKenna has got most things right. So let's trust the guy who has done his apprenticeship at the highest level in the domestic game. Because obviously the substitutions I pointed out, but in the chat, there's a conversation about how perhaps his starting 11 today wasn't the right starting 11, and his subs have rescued the game for him or something along those lines. I haven't quite read all the messages in the chat. There is you could look at it that way, Neil. But as John said, he's got most things right. Trust him. Apprenticeship at the highest level. But equally, we were in the game thanks to his starting 11. Tactically, from 1 minute to the 90th minute, he's got it spot on, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that the subs have definitely done something. I was sat watching Sky Sports News, and as it got to the last sort of 15, 20 minutes, I was just thinking, you go the last year or two, we would have just been 0-0 or lost, wouldn't we? So it's good that this season we seem to be doing, things are panning out differently this year, aren't they? A lot more positive with games that we might lose or draw, we're winning. It's just a lot more positive vibes around the place, isn't it?
Absolutely. It is. And you say you're not feeling too well, but are you able to have a cheeky little, tipple this season and celebrate 3 points?
I've got some cider in me thing, but whether I don't know. I've just had like a horrible acidy sort of taste. So I'll probably just have a Lucasade or something, try and get a bit of energy going.
Absolutely. Just stick on the EFL highlight show. That'll get you going, Neil. I mean, watch us winning again. Neil, look after yourself. Stay well, all right, my man.
Take care, guys.
All the best. Lovely to hear from Neil. Great comments coming in. We've got Max. Don't forget Walton early saves. You're going to earn town points. Walton, we've sort of beamed about on this platform before. He also says, Max, tasting my missus cooking, wish I had permanent COVID. Fucking hell, Rax. Oh, Rax, you fit in here. Norman, McKenna ties at the opposition through possession and high press. It increases our chances of getting goals against the tired team. Stephen Builds, there'll be a big crowd at Portman Road next Saturday. Can't wait. Two home games coming up. Coxey, Cambridge and Brizzle Rovers. Yes, tough last year, but as Lee said, if you have Lee's mentality of short-term memory, you can't expect at this point anything less than 6 points, can you?
A couple of perfect opportunities to get 6 points. Yeah, it's what we've got to do. It's the marathon goes on, but we have to keep ticking on. Yeah, what a great opportunity for us to. What a great opportunity to continue. Yeah,
absolutely. You really have got to take them. We're at 117 likes. I set a 150 like to show the league table. Got the last couple of minutes of the show. So if you've not yet done it, hit the like button. You can also support the platform through Ko-Fi or become a YouTube member today. Starts from $4.99, works out about £1.25 a week. Coxie, you can't buy a coffee for more than £1.25. That's a great value.
Can't buy a lot on $1.25 a week now.
Absolutely. So if you'd like us, support the platform. Philip Blundell, YouTube member. Phil, we love you. Well, when we took the lead, Accrington started to lose their discipline. That's good to see because Town are starting to show their mettle. James B would have lost out or drawn last season. Looks like with a bit of steel. Lloyd, showing the world you can join the platform without a webcam. You just need a microphone. So talk to me, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Well, how are you feeling this Saturday evening?
Oh, I feel great because I think that was our first win at Accrington. Which, hang on, let me just turn the TV down. I'm just watching the England women.
Yeah.
Oh.
Great as they are right now, talking Town on. So
No, I've ecstatic. I'm glad we finally won at Accrington, and because it's usually been a dodgy place for us to go up to and try and get a result. And like most people have said, whether it would be like last season or managers before, we would have either drawn or lost it at the last minute.
yeah, absolutely. You've nailed it there. We mentioned a couple of players already on the show. Leif Davis, I've mentioned, McKenna, we've got Jackson, Chaplin, Burgess. I'll allow you obviously to choose one of those and speak about them. But who was your man of the match from outside of that group?
Well, I was going to say my man of the match was Burgess, but to think someone outside the box, I'd say, probably Wes Burns when he came on. He was
Came on, he started, Lloyd.
You know what I mean? When I thought he played pretty well.
He came alive, just sort of midpoint.
Near the end, he came alive
alive
much more, which was good to see. I think he plays so much better when he's got Chaplin with him.
Do you think he came alive towards the latter part of the game because Accrington started to be aware of our left side, that we're some real threat down, so they started to shift maybe some of the priorities, the shapeness? I don't know, but maybe there was a little bit more space opening up for him.
There was definitely more space opening up where they got near the end. Accrington were, starting to get a bit niggly, getting a bit too close and tried to over-press us to the point where people could just pin the little pass and find those open spaces to work the ball through. So, yeah, I think as we wore Accrington down for a bit, just with our possession, you could tell that those little spaces were opening up and Burns and Chaplin were there to exploit them.
Absolutely. How about Lee Evans for you, Lloyd? Because for me, I've been critical of Mr. Evans. He's played a blinder so far this year, but I was even said on, I think it was Wednesday's show, he would be the man I'd be looking to bring out for any midfielder coming in. I thought today he was absolutely tremendous. He
was brilliant. I thought he played very well as well. I thought it was because we've brought Kamara in, and obviously he's not going to be involved for a while because obviously he's got that injury.
Yep, the groin.
So he's obviously passed the medical, so it can't be that bad of an injury. But I'd agree with you. I'd say if there was meant to be a change in midfield, I think Evans would be the first name to come off. But no, he played very, very well, like he usually does this season. He's not had really a bad game, or if I can think back, any really bad moments that nearly cost us a game or a goal.
No, got an assist today, obviously from the corner. So
yeah, and it was surprising because we criticised him for his corner taking, never a good ball. The first one he did wasn't very good. Tried to play it near post, but credit to him on that second one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He finally got one right, and Chaplin was
Isn't it nice on the spot. Scoring set piece goals?
It's incredibly nice.
Something we could never do last season.
And it had to change. Yeah, McKenna said in Dinny Coxey last year, he has to change. If you want to get out of this league, you've got to be successful from set pieces. And he's been true to his word, Coxey. He's really
so far so good. Yeah.
But it's just nice to see that the players are improving. But who would have thought Burgess would be coming through this spell that he is now?
Absolutely.
When we saw him last year, he's played very well. He's progressed immensely, even though we paid nearly $1 million for him. We would expect some sort of player in there, and McKenna and the staff are teaching him and coaching him the game, and he's obviously listening and may only continue.
Yeah, well, he's finally looking every bit of the nearly £1 million defender. Lloyd, before I let you go, first of all, what is the score in the Ipswich, the England Lioness game, please?
It is 1-0, and the women only need a point from this game or the next game, and they're on the plane to Australia and New Zealand for the
Happy
World
days. And how you
Wow.
celebrating Town's win this season? What are you eating? What are you drinking?
Cup. I've got a Clockwork Tangerine by Brewdog, and I'm gonna have a stir fry later.
Very nice. Enjoy. Look after yourself. Upper Town.
Yeah, see you guys.
See you soon. Great points made by Lloyd there. Paul P says Burgess has the shirt for him. Burgess described an accurate and I follow as a Rolls Royce centre half, and who could argue, Coxie?
He was today. That's what we were shouting for him to come in, and that's what he done, and he's done his job.
Yeah,
cometh the hour, cometh the man. Yeah.
Can't gloat too much about what Burgess did today. Just tremendous. And I've written down here, better player. He looks a better player, and this is something the coaching staff at Portman Road and now finally doing, Coxie. For so long we've sat and we've said, can you actually say which player has gotten better under this manager, under these coaches? And we've often not really. But since McKenna's come in, there's an argument for a handful, but none more so than Burgess. He's even with the ball at his feet, he's a much better player.
Yeah, he's not alone in that. McKenna and his coaching staff have you said, a handful of players you can name, and just how much they've come on under McKenna. You know, he's getting what a manager should do and coaching staff should do. Bring the best out in players, and they are doing that so far.
You say it's what they should do, but obviously, I remember previous years, managers, people saying, "Oh, tell me one player who's gotten better," and it was difficult sort of to pull it out. Big Fred, I was surprised he didn't start today, but he came on and he grasped the nettle, didn't he? Because he did transform us as well in alongside Chaplin. Yeah,
I know it's the old Harry hindsight, but that was a bit of a puzzle. I would have thought he would have started from been in the starting lineup with it, like you said. But then he came on and he injected pace. He made a difference along with Chaplin.
It was more the physicality for me. I felt this was a game you needed that physical striker.
And against teams like Accrington Stanley, you do need that. Yeah.
And we obviously, that's not his game. And I just felt the ball was suddenly sticking a lot better. We were holding it better. We were then able to bring other players into the game because of the work rate and hard work of the Fred star. And I was so delighted for him, getting the goal midweek, another good shift tonight. And slowly, I think he will start to turn the opinion of some Town fans on him. He's going to be a vital cog to this team, I feel, Coxie.
Yeah, they've all got a part to play, but yeah, he did come on to that. Yeah, the TJJ for me, I don't know if it was not the game for him or whether he was in the wrong position, but another one who sort of didn't have the best games today. But better to come from him.
Rob, he's a young player, and young players always have up and down games because of their development. Sometimes some games they're really good, some games you think, where's the player from last week? Quiet today, showed flashes, didn't really do much. Default character says sometimes I have dreams about us winning the league and Cruncher talking to me, taking fair play. Norman Greenwell, it's clear all of our players have improved under McKenna. When did we last have a coach that improved players? Burley, Lee Anderson, Burgess played with his strengths are needed. Fridge will play when the ball is like to go down the channels. That's the level of detail. Just gonna put default character in timeout because I'm tired of reading absolute drivel. Paul Hannett looking good all over the pitch. Just need our strikers pitching in with goals. Adrian Garrett, this is what's been missing. Good coaching with quality players who want to be here and improve. Stu Blue, TJJ's pass to Burns in the first half was different class, but I would play him up front. We're back tomorrow, 1:30. We're talking Town, myself, Matt, and Rich. I've already got the menu of choice of talking points. Looking forward to breaking it down and just discussing what, in the end, was a fantastic 3 points. But I've asked everybody else, so I'll ask you, Coxie, how are you celebrating these pints and points? What are we drinking? What are we eating?
I don't know what I'm drinking, but eating is equally as a thing. Like Ben had done the takeaway last night, so can't really do it a second time. So it would probably, the Cox family would probably be having windmill pie.
What the fuck is windmill pie?
There's enough to go around with that.
Flipping hell. All right. I've never heard of that one before. Well done. Okay, fair play. All right. There you go.
You've done the straight man. You've done the straight man bit beautifully there, Governor.
There we go. Hey, the cook here was a shambles. Poor coach. Limited organisation pitch and so different now. Yes, it is. Your Ipswich Town sit top of the table. Sadly, we've fallen 20 short of our like target, so I can't show you on today's show. But maybe if you just head to various places, I'm sure you can see it. But it does look beautiful when I'm looking at it right now. Just last word on the shot from today. Paul Hannissett. Just imagine if he also had a 20-goal season striker. Well, I think the goals are going to be shared around. Who knows? It's early doors, but Town are certainly up and rock and rolling. We'll see you tomorrow, 1:30. Hit subscribe, support through YouTube and Ko-Fi, and have a fantastic Saturday night with some pints and points celebrating your team's 2-0 win.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I felt went crazy from just the thought of you.